we're doing this video series because I really want to help. Do whatever I can to help. I have spent my life working in creative problem solving, innovation, ideation, and at the core of it, what that all comes down to is me getting in a room or getting on a screen with people to help, to add value through sharing my experience, through having them ask me questions, to having people hold me accountable for, well, what about this situation and what about this situation? And at the end of the day, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to provide some value through the video series, which I hope will inspire, will help, will give people courage, will stem people's fear, will have little nuggets of information that maybe they can carry with them, and that'll make a difference for them in their business lives and or in their personal lives. So I found myself, first of all, in the face of the pandemic, having to change everything. I'm not alone, but I had to change absolutely everything. My style, my business, what I do for a living is live and in person right here, right now, with small or tremendously large groups of people. And now all of a sudden, I couldn't be with those people anymore. I was really sad. It was really just sad. Sad because I derive so much energy and enjoyment in working directly with people, and now I have a screen to work with. So how am I going to engage and add value and give that kind of energy and commitment to my session guests when they're on a screen? So I got sad, and then I got challenged. So challenged meaning, I guess we all have some competitive spirit in us, and I wanted to find something new and different that nobody else was using, and I wanted to do online sessions differently and in a more interesting and engaging way that nobody else was doing. And I found when I put myself in that situation of just try something new, that it worked super well. It worked super well because I was engaged in learning and my session guests were engaged in learning. I hired a coach because I knew I didn't have the discipline to teach myself new tricks and new software. And I also hired producers because I knew that if I was facilitating and speaking and I was using two different kinds of software at the same time, I'm not a big tech head, so I'd be so caught up in the software, I wouldn't be able to deliver a valuable product for the clients. It's been a really tough road, and I've learned a lot about myself, and I've learned a lot about the world in the process, but I'm so glad that I was pushed to do it. I was so glad that I was pushed to learn new things, that I hope that maybe other businesses that have found themselves in the same situation can derive some strength and courage maybe from this story, and so far so good. It seems to be working. The most important lesson that I have learned through the pandemic is a hard question, because I think I've learned an awful lot of lessons through the pandemic about myself, my business, in the big world. I think the most important lesson that I can share is courage. Is somehow, some way, however you have to do it, find the courage to change. Find the courage to adapt. Find the courage to throw the old expectations out the window and tiny steps forward, whatever feels comfortable for you. Nobody has one packed answer as to how to do it, when to do it, or how you find the courage. But have a belief that somehow, listening to yourself, you will find the courage. And not finding the courage is just not an option. You're so empowered when you can, and it doesn't matter if it's just the smallest thing. Give that smallest thing the biggest check mark and the biggest credit for helping you to move forward to embrace change.